Hello everyone, so today we are going to implement this finisher system. So as you can see here, we have these finishers. So there are 10 different finishers and they work at the runtime like this. So this is the final result of the system I'm going to implement today. This is nice, I can play this all day. So yeah, so regarding sharing the project files, so I don't own these animations. It is from hand to hand finishers marketplace asset, so I can share the blueprints and everything I have created here, but I will not be sharing the animations along with this project file. So yeah, I think I should, I thought I should mention that because I don't need any copyright issues. Alright, so let's see how to implement this. So actually here I haven't implemented any simpler punches or kicks because I only wanted to focus on this implementing finishers aspect of the game. Alright, and this episode is sponsored by this generous patron. Thank you very much for your support. Alright, so this is the third person, this is a 3D side scroller template with some lighting changes. So this is the map I am going to implement this finishers system, and these are the animations I have. I'm going to implement these wrestling finishers, hand-to-hand finishers, and add to that project and implement them for the side scroller 3D template. Okay, first step is, now we have the player character, we need an opponent to create do finisher attacks, otherwise we can't do it. So first let's create an opponent character. So let's go here. So this is the player character, and just like always, let's create a child blueprint class. From this sides, let's name it side scroller character enemy. Right, now to make it somewhat different from the player, let's change the material to red, another color, which color would look good? How about red? Okay, let's place an enemy character also here. Like this. It should be in the same place, same X location as the player. So I'll copy this and paste like this and rotate 90 degrees. Alright, now we have the enemy like this. Okay, now the next step is, let's move the player a little bit to the left and move this guy like this. Right, now how to implement the finisher. So right, first let's create a blueprint interface PPI finishers. Here execute finisher victim. Let's come back to this later. First we need a way to determine that we have a finishable character. So how should we do it? Okay, for the enemy, open the enemy character and add a box collision like this. Oh wait, like this. Overlap all dynamic. Okay, now so actually when you implement a game, first you do something like normal punches, normal kicks, and when the health level drops to some level for the enemy character, then only the finishers should be activated. But here I only wanted to show how to play a synchronized animations to show us finisher, so therefore I'm not gonna implement normal punches or kicks. I'm only going to implement finishers. So right, so whenever another character overlap with this collider, I'm gonna set this enemy as the finishable enemy. Let's say finishable enemy. Right, so I'll add another function, set finishable. Now as an input, let's give an actor object reference finishable actor. Okay, right, now when I now let's go to the side scroller character and let's implement that finisher blueprint interface, and then I'll implement set finishable. Yeah, set finishable like this. I'll promote this to a variable. I'll call it just enemy. Okay, all right, now in the enemy character I already implemented this on component begin overlap. On the other actor, let's call set finishable. Oh, actually since we are in the same character, this is a child character of the side scroller character, we don't really need a interface, but if we are using two different characters we will need that. So set no, still we need, otherwise we will have to do a cast. So we can avoid the cast if I call it through the interface set like this. Finishable message. So as the finishable actor, give a reference to self. That means this enemy character. Okay, now let's go to side scroller character, and we need an input. Let's go to project settings and add another input, action, finish. I'll use keyboard F. Right, now finish action event. Okay, so first we need to check if there is a valid enemy, right? And also we need to check if there is the distance between the finishable character, the enemy, and the player. So can we delete? Yeah, get distance to from self to enemy. So if this distance is less than, let's say, 300, we can perform a finisher attack. So how do we do that? Right here, finisher. No. Yeah, we already implemented execute finisher victim. So I'll add another function, execute finisher. Okay, now I'll call execute finisher like this, but I haven't implemented the finisher action yet. So execute finisher. Oh wait, execute finisher event. Alright, now what we have to do is we need to play one of the finisher montages. So actually there are not just one, there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 different montages. So I'm gonna define an array, anim no finisher no wait. So for each finisher we need the attack animation montage and the victim animation montage, and also what's the distance that those two characters should have in order to properly execute that animation. So how do we store those information? Yeah, first let's create couple of animation montages, and here first thing I forgot about this. For the idle animation I'm gonna use this. So how to change this? Simple. Go to side scroller, animation blueprint, and in the anim graph, in the idle run, in this blend space. So this is the idle animation. So let's change this to this. Now character should be like this. See? Cool. Right now yeah, we need, yeah, let's create a couple of montages for this one and for this one. Body slam. Okay, and for this one and for this one. Okay, so 2 should be enough to demonstrate this. Right now we need a special structure, data structure, to hold the information I explained before. Where should we add it? Okay, under the blueprints of the side scroller, let's create structure. Let's call it finisher data. Okay, so first one, let's say attacker montage. This should be anim montage. And another one, oh wait, why name didn't change? This should be victim montage. And another variable, distance. This should be a float. Right, now go to side scroller, character, and add a variable. Let's call it finisher data. It should be in the type of finisher data, and it should be an array because we have more than one finishers. Right, now I'll add 2 elements. So let's go here. So I'm gonna put this window into my other screen so that I can easily drag and drop. Body slam attack montage, body slam victim montage, choke slam attack montage, choke slam victim montage. And for the distances, let's see here, let's go to this project that I have opened all of these animations. So this is body slam, this is choke slam, this one minus 77 minus 200, this one minus that's same minus 69. So distance should be minus 200 minus 69 means plus 69. So 131. That's for the body slam. And for the choke slam, $249, $375. 126. Alright, I think that should be enough. Right, now in order to play montages, this animation blueprint should support montages. So let's add default slot montage group like this, so we can play montages. Okay. Right, now when I call the execute finisher first, since there is an array, I'll select randomly I'll get the last index of this one and get random integer it gets max -1, so length. Okay, and I'll promote this to a variable. Let's call it finisher index. And then let's use the mesh play anim montage. Should I use this? No. Wait. Yeah. Play montage. And as the montage, I'm gonna get from finisher data, I'm gonna get whatever the finisher index I have defined, I have determined, and then from this we can split this. Attack montage. And on the enemy we can call the execute finisher victim. So how do we do that? First, I think I should add finisher index as a parameter here. And I'm gonna implement that finisher index, this execute finisher victim also in this side scroller character, because this enemy is also a child object of this character itself, so therefore that will also inherit all the events I did implement here. So execute finisher victim. Alright, now from the finisher index, using the finisher index, we can get the desired finisher, and on the mesh we can play montage, this victim montage. Okay, so I need to prevent, if I keep bashing on F, I need to prevent restarting playing this animation. So only after finisher is completed I should be able to try to do another finisher. So here I'll add do once node, and after this is finished I'll reset it. And here on the enemy I'll call execute finisher victim with the finisher index that we have. Alright, so shall we test? Let's go here and press F. It worked, but again character stood up, that which is not what I need. So on this blend out, so I think blend out is called when character starts to blend out from this animation. So yeah, get the mesh, set simulate, set all bodies simulate physics. Let's do this, and then the ragdoll should be enabled and character should stay down. Let's see. Okay, we need to set up the distance. Oh, what happened there? In the mesh and collision presets we should select ragdoll. I think that's the case. Let's check. Well, it kind of worked, but there was some issue. See it. Okay, so then what else we can do? Can we freeze animations? Instead of trying to enable ragdolls. Oh yeah, that works. Okay, now I'll remove this part, and so also I need to disable the, yeah, now I'll change this collision preset back to the default one, character mesh, since I'm no longer enabling the ragdoll. I'll, on the capsule component, I'll set to what, disable collisions. Set collision enabled to no collision. I hope that wouldn't make the character also move down the floor. Now I can move past this character, right? And also I'll add another boolean, dead. it should be a bool, and it should be a single variable, not an array. So I'll set, yeah, once I come to this part, I'll set dead to true, and in the enemy, when this overlapping happens, I'll call set finishable only if character is not dead. So get dead, and if dead is false, I'll set finishable. Also in the BPI finisher, I'll add another function, is dead. No, let's call it is alive, and return a boolean alive. Now before, now I'll implement that is alive like this, get the dead and return not of dead. So if dead is false, that means alive is true. Now before I call this finisher, I should make sure the enemy is not dead. So is alive, okay. Now both of these conditions needs to be true, this and this distance. Alright, okay, we forgot about setting the distance. That's why we have this problem. If I press the F here, you can see they are not synchronizing properly. So how to set that? Alright, and when we execute the finisher, let's do another move component to one using the capsule component of the attacker, and as the relative rotation, I'll keep the same rotation, get attack rotation, and as the location, get enemy, no, get actor location of the enemy, and also get forward vector of the enemy. So multiply this forward vector by this distance. So we can, in that way we can make sure the character is always in front of the enemy with that distance, and add it to the current location of the enemy and set it as the target. Let's leave the time as 0.2, that should be enough. So see, now it always syncs properly. Alright, now I'll add another enemy right here with -90. Okay, now I can't do it again because we don't have any alive enemies. Right, now let's make enemies continuously come towards the player. Let's spawn enemies here and make them come over here one by one. So how should we do it? Right, let's create another blueprint in the type of actor. Let's call it enemy spawner. Here alright, before that let's do something like this. In this enemy on the tick, let's make the enemy move towards the player like this. So let's have a branch and let's see, get player character, but let's do is valid check, because if there is no valid player we shouldn't try that. Okay, and also if there is a valid player character, get distance to the player from cell. If this direction is larger than, let's say, 500, no, 600, I'm not sure, we can change that but later. 600, let's add movement input. This is a very simple thing, not a AI, but a very simple thing, towards the player. So from self direction, we can't get it like that. Okay, so get that location. Oh wait, get actor location of the current actor and get unit direction vector from the current actor to the player. Right, now they should automatically walk towards the player, but they don't. Okay, let's see why. I think this direction distance is too much. Let's try 300. Yeah, see, okay. All right, now that happens. Okay, so now I'll disable, no, delete these enemies and add the enemy spawner. It should be in same X location as the player. And I'm gonna place it right here. One is here and another one here. Now let's go to the enemy spawner, and here I'll define another variable. Oh wait, not a dispatcher variable. So in the begin play I'll give a small delay like 2 seconds and spawn actor from class, and I'm gonna spawn an enemy character. Spawn transform, well, I'm gonna give the spawner location, get actor location. Try to adjust location but always spawn. Okay, all right. And after spawned, let's promote this to a variable. Let's call it enemy, right? And let's have a delay of, let's say, 3 seconds. And after that, if this enemy is not valid, actually we can use not the valid one, dead. If this enemy is dead, we can spawn another enemy like this. We don't need this one. Otherwise, wait another 4 seconds. Okay, right. Now let's see. Enemy is not coming. Why is that? Let's check. A moment it is setting, but it is not moving for some reason. What is that? Is it stuck somewhere? Alright, then maybe let's do this. Spawn default controller. Alright, now it is working. Okay, so now we can increase this amount. Let's try 600. Oh, wait a minute. We should disable movement while we are in while we perform and finish a move. Right, first to do that, here actually if I enable the root motion of all of these animations, then the movement will be disabled automatically. I think it's okay to enable root motion. Let's see. Okay, now let's see how it looks. Oh no, with root motion it doesn't work properly. So I disabled root motion, and here when we execute finishes, let's have another boolean. Movement disabled. Set movement disabled to true, and once it is completed we can set movement disabled to false. Okay, now for this move right, we can use a branch. Okay, let's rename this to movement enabled. So I can use the true. I could use false, but I think it's better. Alright, let's see. Oh, by default this should be true, and I think we should reduce this to something like 400. Okay, alright, now I will create montages for all these animations, all these attacks. So I'll do it without recording because it's the same process. Actually I can do it like this. Select all of them, create an a montage. Cool, that's very easy, very convenient. Okay, now I'll assign this to my finisher data. So I'll do this off screen. Right, so I assigned all of these animations and values. So one more thing, in the enemy character we should apply movement input only if the character is alive. So actually I can disable it like this. If I just set after this finisher is executed, finisher victim is executed, I can set tick enable to false, so it won't try to move anymore. Right, and also to test it better, and the enemy spawner, I'll set this value to like 10, so we will have some window to attack each enemy. Alright, so okay, there is some root motion issue. Okay, so I think still we should be able to make it work with root motion, so it wouldn't have any sliding issues. But for that also I think we will need to disable collisions for one of these characters. So yeah, when we get into this execute finisher victim, let's set collisions disabled here in the beginning. This part would be redundant now, but let's test and see if it works. Yeah, better. No, there is a slight issue. There are some mismatches still. Right, so to prevent that, we will enable root motion only for the required animations. Right, so only this grab knee and this tackle punch out attack, those are the only two animations as I can see require root motions. Others are fine, it seems. Okay, and also yeah, now we can see the final version. Right, here is the final version. Shall we add some sound effects? Well, right, so I imported this anime shout sounds and heavy punches and some light punches like this. So let's create sound cues. Shouts cue. Okay, to this let's drag and drop other 3 sound effects as well. play a random sample out of these three in this sound cue. So I'm not going to add attenuation settings or anything because I don't think it would require here because we are seeing the same character from the same distance always, but we can add it, it's not a big deal. I will duplicate this, heavy punches, right, and duplicate this, light punches, okay. Now we have to go through each animation and add these sound effects, but first, yeah, actually that's what we have to do. Let me close this unused stuff. Let's start with this. Here let's play now, heavy punch, and the next here also heavy punch. So yeah, I will do until I require a place to choke slam, double flip. Okay, here let's do a light punch. And this is heavy punch. So like this I will add notifiers to all the animations, but I will not record that part. Okay, I added animation notifiers to all the events. Now let's go to the animation blueprint, and here let's implement those light punch, all these events, and heavy punch. Okay, so for the light punch, let's place sound at location. So for the sound I'll use light punch cue as the location, get pawn, try get pawn owner, get location, And similarly for the heavy punch, I'll play heavy punch sound, and after after a heavy punch, let's give some delay like 0.1 seconds, and play another shouting sound like a screaming sound. This one, same location. Okay, shall we check? Okay, also to this system, to improve the system, we could add stuff like camera shakes and particles, etc. But I'm not going to cover that part here because it has already taken about an hour. So yeah, so I'm gonna stop this episode right here. And yeah, regarding sharing the project files of this tutorial, actually these animations, these hand-to-hand finishes, this is not something I own, it is from marketplace, so therefore I can't share these animations, but I can share the all the blueprints and everything. So if you have this if you purchase this finishes asset from the marketplace, I can give this blueprint. So yeah, I wanted to mention that because I don't need any copyright issues. Alright, so thanks for watching. And if you would like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon Club. Link would be in the description below. And see you in another episode. Goodbye.